I would say a drop of standard in the safety trainers now.
We're talking about forgery itself, not cheating in classes. That also exists.
Incompetency in this personnel because they don't have the adequate knowledge. They are given a crash course.
Hi all, welcome to another episode of The Blueprint by Champions. Today's topic is going to be about trainings and training providers. Joining Khairul and I, we have Raj Singh, who's pretty well known in the training sector. Welcome once again, Raj. Nice to see you here.
Thank you, Shah. Thank you, Kai. It's wonderful to be back here.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate this.
Okay, Raj. So today's topic is going to be about training and training center. So I believe you are pretty good in this topic. You were actually having a training center previously. Maybe you would want to give a brief about it.
Sure. Actually, it was not just here in Singapore. We did have training centers here in Singapore, in Korea, and also in Middle East. And we also help companies set up training centers like Shell. We help them set up their training programs and training centers.
So Raj, what I would like to touch on is the quality of safety trainers. We all know you were doing an excellent job while being a safety trainer. Everyone can actually, vouch for it. And I was one of your trainee when I was taking the NIBOSH. I think it was in 2013 or 14. So, I can say how good you are as a safety trainer. How about the current safety trainers who are actually, conducting courses now? I have personally been told that there have been, I would say, a drop of standard in the safety trainers now. What's your take on that?
Okay, there are some good trainers out there who actually want to deliver and train and transfer knowledge. But there are also many others who are just, hey, I'm only a safety trainer because it pays me well. I don't have to go into the sun.
8 to 5, that's
8 to 5, I wash my hand and do nothing. Some of them, their skill set is really horrible. Because what they do, they think, oh, I'm here, I'm going to talk about, my life experience. When I was working in this place, that place, this is how we do it. Oh, I've got 30 years of this experience. And it will just go on and on. And most of the students are very polite. They'll just sit there and listen.
And not their head.
And not their head. While the guy is telling his life story. And that doesn't help the person because they came to learn something to apply it to their job. Then you also have the same people who, other than telling their life story, will read every word on the PowerPoint slide.
We call them the slide readers, I guess.
Yeah, so they will talk to the audience, then they will turn around and read the first sentence, then say, you understand? Then they will read the second sentence, you understand? Might as well you just give me the slides, I read at home.
Waste time coming, attending a physical class.
Yeah.
Khairul, I would want to actually ask you this. We have heard about this, how I would say the classes are not conducted in a way that could actually improve one's competence. So if you see those guys who actually did their courses and then they come out, it's not really practicable in work sites. For example, what they learn, again, the same thing. Certification is not equivalent to competency. Could it be due to what they are learning that they are not being taught properly while taking the courses?
First thing first is about the way that they are being taught is like how Raj saying is just purely theoretical, very theoretical. So they do not. Okay, example, we are going to take the certificate for supervisors. So the guy who doesn't have any knowledge about construction, you just read out the slides to him, and you throw him in a site. He will not know anything. Eventually, he won't be able to know to apply what is going to be done to apply. But he's ready to be a qualified supervisor. So this is the challenge part there, where the guy doesn't have any experience. He take the course, he gets certified, and he goes out to the field to be a competent personnel.
If I'm going to give you an example, you know that even for us, we are actually employing safety coordinators. So they go for 4-5 months course. Once they kind of graduate, they are certified, they come out, we deploy them to site, and they tell us that they don't know how to do inspection report. I guess you would have seen many cases of this.
So same thing applies lah. So the fact that in the training, is developed in a manner that these practical skills are not being taught.
Yeah.
But we talk about safety coordinators. They still, prior to taking the safety coordinators, that means the level B, they have the level A, they have the safety supervisor classes. So that personnel should have a certain number of experience before they can take that course. The worrying part is about these safety supervisor classes where they don't have any experience. They go in and they get certified, and they are thrown into a site to become a supervisor where they don't
know anything
Don't
at
know
all.
anything. Excavation, lifting. They never seen a crane before, but they are a supervisor on site.
Exactly.
So this is the worrying part.
Raj, I think in our previous episode, we spoke about dignity. Again, touching on that dignity in training center. I believe you would have seen, or maybe as a trainer, you may not have seen because you were pretty fair to everyone. But in a lot of training centers, what happened is that if the guy is a local, say if I or Khairul, we go, you see the trainers are nice to us, like how you are supposed to be to another human being. But when it is a foreigner, majority of time, you see the trainer being very rude to them. Why do you think so? Is it because the trainers know that, okay, these guys, they don't pay the money. It's the company that pay. So I just can be rude to them. I just can, degrade them. Do you think that could be the reason?
There's one reason, but I also feel that the character of the trainer plays a part. If he or she is unprofessional, this is the result. I've attended training as well, where in the same class, there are foreign workers, I think work at high costs for supervisors or for even workers. I attended this training and the trainer spoke to me very nicely and all that. But in the same class where he turns to the worker, he can shout at him
Yep.
and say, "You don't know how to do. You stupid. You don't know." I feel that's very rude and very unprofessional.
And I've seen it multiple times, even when I was a trainee. And I seriously don't like it because I feel that this is something that is not fair. This is not how you're supposed to treat people. Just because you had a feeling that, okay, this guy is a foreigner, he didn't pay, his company is paying, and then you treat him in a manner that is, why don't you try treating a local that way? And you would know. The next day an email will go in, MOM will come and investigate.
Correct. And even if the worker had paid for the cost himself, these people will still treat them like that. And it's really unfair because the reason why they are workers is because maybe they are uneducated or maybe they lack some skills. If they were educated and they had skills, they won't be a worker, they'll be an engineer.
Exactly. Yep. Another thing that I would like to ask you on this. I'm not sure if you are aware that all training centers, from what I've heard, they actually have this thing called a passing percentage, a cutoff percentage. For example, 95% of those they need to pass the course. If you don't pass, then the so-called the authority, or is it SSG or WSQ, they will come and check on it. Why was there? Their intention is good because they want to make sure that quality training is given. But for the training center, what it's trying to do is that, okay, I don't want my cost to be affected, so I want to comply. Do you think they, looking at their commercial revenue, they might want the workers to pass in a way that is not befitting them? For example, I've attended courses. The trainer will tell each slide, this will come off exam, this will come off exam, this will come off exam, this exam, this. Last day he will tell again, this one will come out exam, this one exam, this one exam, all this exam, just put a start one and then you learn. And you write the exam and you pass. What's your opinion on that?
I feel the intention was great. Intention of whether it's SSG, WSQ, even MOM, hey, we need to train people, we need to teach them something. We also need to do quality control. Hey, if there's many failures, the training center should look into their internal processes. Why is there failure? Is it because the training sites are not good enough? Is it because the language spoken is the wrong language? Is it because the trainer was not getting through? the internal review.
Yeah.
The passing rates are supposed to be about internal review, not about, hey,
Solely passing rate.
solely passing rate.
Yeah.
But as we say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
So you might have a good intention, but then it turned out the way that people are doing it is wrong.
Yeah.
They think, oh, passing rate, if we don't have this passing rate, WDA or SSG will close our center, so we better pass.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there is truth to it where if we fail the workers, the companies will bring their business somewhere else where they say, hey, I will show pass.
Yeah.
So it affects them. And this is wrong. You should just pass or fail dependent on the person's ability.
Yes.
Not because you're scared of business. You're not scared because, I will close shop because of certain regulations. Then do your internal review. Why are people failing? Maybe your selection criteria, we have supervisor courses, but we allow any Tom, Dick and Harry who don't even know how to write their name into the supervisor course.
So now the criteria for attending the courses. Khairul, speaking of criteria, you see, we were just speaking of this level B, there are people who take these courses, come out, cannot even do inspection report. Do you think it is appropriate for training centers to be conducting courses like level B, level C, when these courses are actually very important, where it actually makes you work as a safety coordinator, work as a safety officer? And the criteria is that, again, we have seen it many times. People passing, I can say locals and foreigners also, passing but go out cannot work at all. They don't even know how to do inspection report. When we ask them, how did you manage to pass your course? They say that no, the assignment is copy-paste. I just take this fella's assignment, I just change my name, change here, change there, and then submit, and then I get the certificate. What's your take on that, Khairul?
I think for the level B courses, in comparison to many years back, there's a lot of improvement, even in terms of assignment, copy paste, and all that. There's a lot of advanced technology now. They come in with the Turnitin system where you submit your assignments online, and you can see plagiarism and all that. They have progressed very well. Criteria to enter to take your level B, they have also progressed. They are doing evaluations. WPLN, they are doing a certain number of years experience and all that.
Do you think the criteria can be improved?
Criteria I think the criteria set is quite good enough already. People do meet the criteria and they go for the courses. But the fact that once they are attending the course, the evaluation of them after attending the courses of the respective modules can be improved further.
That means the way they are passed.
Especially more into practical things like carrying out inspection report. That kind of practical knowledge can be improved. Things will get better.
Yeah.
So I believe that, yes, definitely, I will definitely say that the curriculum, the evaluation, and everything has progressed. But there's still a lot of area for improvement so that we can get quality safety coordinators out there.
This is another part where we would have seen in the news frequently forgery of certificates. We all know that many a times we have heard on the news that this guy was caught with a forged certificate. He had a forged certificate and etc. What's your experience with this?
I think forgery exists. We're talking about forgery itself, not cheating in classes. That also exists.
That one is later, another topic.
So forgery itself exists. It's been running rampant since 10, 20, 30 years already. Even before SSG, where it was just purely MOM courses, there were forged certificates, forged A4 certificate, forged cards. And then now, even with the SSG involved, there are forgeries. And it's sad. It's sad because then the onus is on the site or the employer to figure out what is real and what is fake. And yet you are putting someone else in harm's way. Some of these workers, they think, if I have a forged cert I bought from somewhere, then I can get a better job. But that's selfish.
And I think this also disrupts the training center because the authority will come in, go and investigate training. Because on everyone's mind, obviously, the training center might be at the wrong at the start, because they will think that, okay, maybe you never conduct a class, you just give not really a forged certificate, but a fake, a class that you didn't attend. You just print out the certificate and you give it. So this also involves the training center.
I got a point in here. The technology is quite advanced lah. So people are doing exact certificate using just a different name. They can just forge and be done there. But I still believe that I would like to commend Ministry of Manpower. They came up with the the portal where you can check training records of employees.
Correct.
So that is just recently, I think for the past 1 or 2 years only, it just came up.
But is that for all certificates?
Yes, now they have. Previously, it was only SOC, CSOC, and BCSS. Now, currently, any small courses that you go, WC courses, your formal supervisor, lifting supervisor, rigor skillman, everything needs to be updated. So that way, the forgery part can be minimized or eliminated. Because if I'm a main contractor or an employer, just have to type his. I have to go through my SingPass first. I have to go through my company's SingPass first, then put in the person's particulars. I'll be able to see what are the courses he really have. But again, there is a flaws here, because, for example, myself, I took my formal supervisor back in 2007, 2008. I will not be able to see that record. But so is my course valid or not? So this is another thing lah.
You're right about this. MOM should be commended about that system, the training database or the training portal. But you're also right that only now it's all the courses.
Correct.
Those who have taken it before I think 2017 may not be reflected. And before that was only the key courses like CSOC, BCSS, certain courses only. Slowly they implemented that, every course, because there were 2 camps. There was the SSG, WSQ. So you could take courses there that are not reflected on MOM system. Or you take MOM system but not reflected in SSG. So there are 2 separate systems. In fact, they are still 2 separate systems. If you ask any training provider, they have to submit both to SSG and then later to MOM. So there is a delay there. Yeah, the forgeries, people were hoping that, I only exist on one system or the other, so I can forge this side or that side. Of course, now people are still very smart. They will find a loophole around this.
With AI somehow.
With AI. I mean, I've seen fake cards that look so real, but it's fake. And you're right. The training provider might not have been involved, but they will suffer.
Yeah.
I think a few years ago, there was a case where the training provider made more than 10 police reports. Nothing was done. I've seen workers with fake cards. I've called the police as well. And what else can be done? That's about it.
You can never catch the guy who's going to make this
Correct.
cards, yeah.
However, I've also proposed to MOM before. This was my proposal. I told them, but they said, oh no. In a training providers forum, in fact, not once, but twice, 3 times. Just like your traffic police, you can take your driving lessons anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, private or Bukit Batok or whatever else.
CDC, yeah.
CDC or not CDC, not
Oh,
CDC
not
voucher.
CDC, what?
Comfort driving
BBTC and Comfort Driving Center. Correct.
CDC, yeah.
Not CDC voucher. Okay. So anyway, you can take lessons anywhere. However, the only authority that's going to chop and sign your license is the traffic police.
Yes, correct.
That should be the way with courses as well. Yeah, you can study anywhere you want, but the exam should only be held or marked by MOM or SSG, whoever is the authority.
Correct, yeah.
And let them do it, just like NIBOSH. You can study self-learning. I want to read my books myself. I want to do e-learning. I want to sit down in a class. Can. But the exam is just like O-level standard. And the papers are marked by NIBOSH.
Yes.
Certificate by NIBOSH.
I think that is very good moving forward, because just still on that topic, you see, you mentioned earlier, we are talking about forgery, not talking about cheating. Now, let's come to cheating. You see, I actually had a few guys who have told me this before, that they could actually buy answer sheets or question papers before their exam for all those smaller courses. So, how do you think these answer sheets or question sheets are being leaked out?
Many ways. It could be the person doing the exam. I've seen these online as well. Even those small courses, apparently someone is inside the class and the trainer has issued out the exam papers or the summative assessment, the end assessment. And the guy has taken photos. It's a photo. It's not a
Okay.
PDF or a screen. It's a photo. Then he flips the page, takes photo, and he puts it online.
Yeah, but isn't I remember there's a criteria that you must put your phone in the bag and must leave the bag in front of the classroom.
Apparently, you can have all these criterias, but who's going to enforce? Is the trainer going to sit at the table and just sit there? I'm sure you've seen some trainers who, while teaching, are also sitting at their chair or just clicking the PowerPoint slides. So what makes them stand up and walk around during exam? Nothing.
Yeah.
For me, I find that two points here. Number one, about the first thing that you say about the leaked question papers, and just now you also mentioning that a trainer will, when he go through the slide, he will say these are important questions. I take it on a positive angle because I think that if I'm a trainee, I see in the class and the trainer tells me these are exam questions. I will take down points. I will go and memorize this, and it becomes a learning thing, and I get to have this knowledge instilled within me. Example, I will know, okay, excavation 1.2, you need the SS, 1.5, you need a shoring system. So the trainer will tell us that these are the exam questions. So the moment we see this, we get to memorize, we learn. Then we're going to apply this in exam. Eventually what happens, we memorize, we know this. It becomes our skill. Okay, that part is good enough. It's good that when he says this, we instead of just reading the entire PowerPoint, he tells us the important factors. We memorize, we know what is it. They get to apply this in the worksite later. The second part about the questions, exam questions being leaked. Exam questions for most of the things are being leaked, and then eventually the same thing. When the exam questions are leaked, they study the exam questions. They tend to memorize, and they will have that knowledge instilled within them as well. But the same set of exam questions, not to come out in the exams now. There's a lot of way that it can be resolved. For example, the tab system, they can go for the online, they can put the different various papers, so you won't be able to know what papers you have, and you do your answers in the tab system. And like how we take our basic theory, final theory, upon completion, we get the result. We don't decide. The trainer don't decide. The examiner don't decide. Even the training party don't decide. It's an auto thing. The question. So there's no way for cheating. So I think all this can be ways that
Raj, you were saying there was another way besides guys taking a photo on in the class.
So I've also seen this. I think you can search this online. You search Google or anywhere else. You can find answer scripts or project work by safety officers who are taking the level C, or even those people who are taking level B. You can find them online. So whether it's the person taking photos in the class, whether it's people putting up their work for, I want to show people, but then other people take it as, this is my way of answering the question, and copy it wholesale. Of course, there are plagiarism tools as well. But there are also people, in the news it came out, I think the training center leaked out the answers. And that's wrong. I mean, then that falls on their character again.
I think like when we have people telling us that they have the full set of papers, that means something is wrong already. How could you have the full set of question paper and answer paper, and then you're going around selling, okay, $20, you can get, and that kind of thing. So I've heard of this also. Yeah. Okay. So another question, Raj.
Can I interject first?
Yeah.
This is why I love NIBOSH last time. The papers get flown in. They are sealed in an envelope.
Okay.
In a envelope that's completely sealed, plastic. We receive them as training providers. We are supposed to put them in lock and key.
Okay.
And they are received only a few days before the actual exam. Then on the day of the exam, only at that time, in front of everybody, we're supposed to cut open the envelope. Even we don't know what is inside. And they will send British Council representatives to come and inspect. Where do you keep your papers? Can you show us the papers that are sealed and all that? And this is a control feature. And that's wonderful because, of course, NIBOSH exams are different from the the worker course or supervisor course, not multiple choice, is essays and stuff. But that shows the importance, how important this exam is, that we
The
need to do this.
secrecy of it also.
Secrecy, yeah. You can't open in front of everybody so that everybody is aware this is brand new and we have no idea. Then we place them on the tables, facing down. Only at that time where exam starts, then you start. And we always had an external invigilator from another school to come and invigilate. Even we are not allowed in.
I think that's how you control this. You make sure that all these cheating cases don't go about. Going on to another topic, this again might be a little controversial. We have heard of safety consultants. We are one of them. We have heard of safety consultants being training providers too. So they are safety consultant who deploy safety guys, and they are also a training provider. Do you think there's a conflict of interest there where, for example, a client asks you, I need a safety coordinator, and you have one safety coordinator, but then he says that, but I need this guy to be having a work at height assessor, and the work needs to start tomorrow. This guy don't have a work at height assessor, but you are also a training provider giving work at height assessor. Do you think I could backdate it to 1 week prior and issue him a pass and a certificate and then send him to work tomorrow? What's your opinion?
Okay, my opinion might get me into trouble, but it's the truth. There are two types of conflict of interest. One is the training provider / consultant sending people to site. Another one is the training provider / consultant helping them do documentation. So we'll do the first one first.
Okay.
Yes, there are training providers who will train their staff. Maybe even backdate. But even if they don't backdate, that's still wrong. What? As in like, just because the client says, I need someone with oil and gas or construction CSOC at the very minimum. Then I just quickly go and issue because my guy doesn't have, but I will do it. That's wrong. There's a conflict of interest. I mean, they should not be allowed to send their own staff to their own training centers. And even if they do, there should be more control, more professionalism in it. But of course, there are ways to circumvent. They will open two companies.
Exactly.
ABC Private Limited do training, XYZ do consultancy. Then they say, oh, different, but actually it's the same boss, same office. Now, how to go about this? Then the other type, example, BizSafe. Oh, I train you in BizSafe, but then later I also consult you for whatever. And I think again it's wrong. There's conflict of interest here. Then you'll be like more taking care of the client instead of being factual.
Yeah, correct.
On both sides.
And Khairul have actually encountered this multiple times. Remember when we were actually doing documentation for BSafe clients, all our regular clients, and then they don't have BSafe 1, BSafe 2. So we actually suggest to them that, okay, you can go to this training center, go and get your BSafe 1, BSafe 2. And then since they are our regulars and they are very close to us, they come back and tell us, say that, hey, this training provider who did for us 1 and 2, he told us that why not you take BSafe 3 with us, we give you a cheaper price, way cheaper, because we will bundle it up 1, 2, 3 together. Khairul, what's your take on that?
I just want to highlight a disturbing topic here. We do have heard about training consultants, safety consultants whom are also training providers. What they do, they will get in their safety supervisors or the site supervisors who have basic knowledge of English, conduct a special class for them, 10 packs, 15 packs. They have special classes, means Saturday, Sunday, public holidays.
Public holiday classes.
Holiday classes, okay. Get for them the level B certification, conduct a class for them, make sure they are competent, they get the class finished, they finish the class, they get a certificate, and supply them out to be a safety coordinator. And they charge the clients the safety coordinator pricing, and they make tons of money out of it. So what is the problem here is we are facing incompetency in this personnel because they don't have the adequate knowledge. They are given a crash course, they are given the competency, and then they are out to play in the market who and call themselves safety coordinators.
Safety coordinator, yeah. So Raj, I personally brought up this conflict of interest topic is because I have heard a few of them been talking around. They said that there was this particular case where this guy didn't had a oil petrochemical certification, but he needed to go to be deployed immediately the following day. So because he is being supplied by a safety consultant who is also a training provider, they immediately arrange for oil petrochemical cut, and they backdated it 1 week. So still touching on this, Raj, why isn't the law such that once you complete your course, the result should be updated on that day itself, so that you could actually stop? I mean, for a certain level, you could stop this backdating things.
Okay, that's a very good point. So for SSG courses, you've got up to 14 days as a training provider to submit. So you create the class, then you submit the attendance, submit the results within 14 days. Okay. For MOM, it's within 5 days that you need to submit the results to the training portal. So there's this loophole. Like for us, we believed in, once you finish the class, you key in all the results and you upload straight away. So there's no issue. Of course, the next day you still log in to check whether the results were uploaded or there were errors like, date of birth, etc. But these are minor admin stuff. So there are training providers who delay that.
Purposely, I guess.
Purposely, they will say, by the time the class finish, it's 6 p.m., 7 p.m., admin cannot do. It takes a couple of minutes. It doesn't take like 2 more hours to upload results. So it can be done. It's whether they want to do it
or not. Yeah, I felt so because I know someone has told me before that it takes a few days. They kind of upload it closer to the deadline and etc. And I always wondered why. Speaking of another incident or incidents, there are so-called agents who actually two kinds of agents. These agents, what they do is, for example, BCSS cost, maybe say costs like $250. This agent goes to worker and say that, okay, you want to take this course, it's $300. But you go to this training provider, confirm pass. This is their word, confirm pass. There's one group of this. The second group, because these agents, they want to actually book for these workers, because some workers, they don't know how to use, they don't know how to book, they don't know how to go to training center. So what they do is they open a company by themselves, calling themselves, for example, ABC. And then they register an account with the training provider and they book for 10 workers under their account. But when they come to class, the training provider will realize that these 10 workers are from 10 different companies. They are not from this ABC company. What's your take on that, Raj?
Okay, I've heard of these agents. They will go to training centers and say, hey, I can bring you students. Then there are those that will say, I'll bring you students, but I need a cut, a percentage, $20, $30, $50, whatever amount. They might also be taking from the workers by saying, hey, I'll bring you to a training provider that's sure pass. And for these agents, they will try and find training centers that are like that. They are desperate for people and will bend over and say, okay, sure pass. We'll make sure, that even if you don't pass, we'll retake and then do all these things.
Make sure you pass.
Yeah, make sure that you pass because they got no other business. And they're afraid that, if we are strict, people will walk away. They forget the basic understanding of training, which it's not about pass and fail. It's about the learning. If the person doesn't know, you should rightfully fail them. I mean, if they fail. So there are agents like that. They will go around. And I think this is really bad because they will bring people somewhere and give them the wrong idea
that this is acceptable.
And for the workers, I understand they want to get all these certs because they want to show their boss they can be promoted as a supervisor, etc. And they do this on their own time and money. So they will come out with their own money, nothing to do with company. And they will attend during their Sunday or public holiday or evenings when they are free. So it's their time. Of course, they want to pass and they believe the agent. But the agent is not the one setting the criteria for entry.
Exactly. Khairul, you would have heard, this sure pass. Many workers would have said this. You go to this training center, sure pass. And they will always try to avoid certain training centers. For example, BCA, NTUC, this kind of training centers or any courses that are in polytechnics and that kind of or in SCDF, they will try to avoid all these training centers. What's your opinion on that?
I think to be very frank, I think this is eliminated already. The agents are no longer there now. Training centers have become very strict. They do not deal with agents. They only deal with a company or the respective trainees themselves. Number one. Number two, the sure pass thing is also most of the training centers have now came out of this. They are being more strict on all this, but I still think that the just now, like how Raj was saying, the period of uploading the results, 14 days is way too long. People can do a lot of monkey business within these 14 days. So
The acceptable is 24 hours.
24 hours, 3 days maximum lah. The one class, the ratio of a trainee and a trainer is 1:20, 1:25.
25, yeah.
So you'll be able to do it in the day or the next day, maximum next day you should be able to do it. And the assessment system, if all the courses can come out with the same basic theory, final theory, like how they do the tab and the results come out immediately, auto, now it's so advanced already, everything auto, it can also be auto updated and all that, means this problem will be eliminated.
Yeah.
But the point of these training centers, I think MOM is doing quite a good job. They have clamped down quite a number. Of course, after a lot of cases, a lot of things, they have clamped down quite a number of cases on that. Now I believe the CCTV is, even during examination, CCTV is being recorded, MOM audits the CCTV and all that. So we are seeing some improvement in this area.
Raj, what's you have been teaching for many years. You have been a trainer for many years. What's your opinion on the training materials that is being circulated out or is being taught to trainees now?
Okay, I think again, intent was very good, but execution is wrong. I mean, look at the worker courses, whether it's the CSOC or the oil and gas, etc. 300 plus slides to be completed in a day, and it's all full of words, and
Nobody reads.
Nobody reads, and in the end, the workers are just sitting there hoping that something will stick. And the person who created the slides is just saying, oh, let me throw as much as I can and maybe something will stick. And nothing is practicable for them. They don't apply anything that they've heard, not remembered, heard in the class. They will just go out and do something else. That's one. Then I used to teach in CITI, scaffolding course.
What is CITI just for the viewers,
Construction Industry Training Institute. It was previous, now it's called BCA Academy. So this was like long time
So
ago.
the viewers
my
will,
age.
so viewers will know your age now.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I used to teach scaffold for workers and scaffold for supervisors. The 5 days, 10 days thing. And yes, at that time, yes, we still have PowerPoint slides. The PowerPoint slides with the scaffold material, black and white pictures. And I think just last year, I saw some training providers. It's the same PowerPoint slides, the same pictures.
20 over years.
That's more than 20 years ago. Why have we not improved on that? And yes, scaffold is more manual. You teach them how to do things, but there's still that element there of looking at what certain things are. That could have been improved. The structure is the same. I mean, we can do a lot better with our training materials. We shouldn't just throw out hundreds and hundreds of slides and hope something will stick.
Sticks, yeah.
Or use old materials and say, oh, this is the thing that we work on.
Do you think we should go back to the old school way of conducting courses? For example, only allow MOM or government affiliated organizations to do the courses. Or I actually preferred your another suggestion, which is you still allow private players to run the courses and let the exams solely be done by the authorities.
I like the second part, of course, because it's not just my idea. The reason is you can have training providers who will train the workers or train the supervisors in everything they can, send them to the official examination authority, and then the authorities can say, hey, this training provider brings people in and they got high level of competency. This training provider sends people in and they keep failing.
Yes.
So we know these trainers and these training providers may not make the cut. So they can reflect on that. And then again, it stops the forgery, it stops the cheating cases, it stops a lot of things. And if all the training is done by government agency, they might not have time, they might not have the breath. They might still bring in the trainers who will talk about their grandfather's story just
Yeah.
to do the work. This way they can just focus on examination.
Yes, correct.
And then the training providers, they have to up their ante. Oh, I need to train better so that I can send the people and they can actually pass and they can be competent.
Yeah. We have come to the end of the episode, Raj. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. Once again, thank you a lot.
Thank you, Shah.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. I think the viewers would have gained good knowledge with your experience and your topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khai.
Okay, so viewers, friends, and also haters, I believe today's topic will bring in some good insights pertaining to training and how the WSH training can further improvise in our safety standards for our work sites. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to comment on Ministry of Manpower. Over the number of years, they have really revamped the system. The training standards are much more improvised. Now we can see better training standards, and also training centers. They have done a lot of improvement in this area. Nonetheless, I think there are some certain area for improvement. Based on today's topic, we did highlight a few pointers. Number one will be the evaluation for the trainees. It could be immediate result system. That means, example, we do our basic theory and final theory. Once we end our test, the results are out, so there will not be any area for wrongdoings. Okay, number one. Number two, the training slides can further be evaluated to make it straight to the point, and of course it has to be revised very periodically when the new regulations come out and all that. So all these are some things that maybe we could really look into. Thank you.
Hi all, we have come to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode. Do join us for our next episode. Till then, do like, share, or comment. Till then, see you guys.